Alright, so back to our fight with Caster and Kuzuki. I desperately parry the oncoming fists. Kuzuki's fists are live snakes. Even if I barely dodged them, they change their paths to come bite me. That's why Saber was seriously wounded. Saber was bitten by Kuzuki's snakes because she had the reflexes to dodge them. But I don't have such reflexes. I can't dodge them, and first of all, I can't even see his fists. I can't dodge them when I can't even see his fists. Ow! My shoulder. Kuzuki's fist grazed my left collarbone. It's just like a bush hammer. It feels as if my shoulders are being crushed and I almost dropped my swords. I buried and parried the fist going for my temple using the sword in my right hand. I desperately retreat. I pitifully retreat while Kuzuki closes in, not revealing any hints of how he advanced. I shudder at his stance. I won't be able to withstand the next attack. It's miraculous that I was able to parry the attacks until now. It doesn't feel real. I hope that I'll be able to protect myself and buy time for Tosaka until she defeated Caster, but such hope disappeared after I took the first blow. Kuzuki Soichiro took our previous battle into account. I was able to fend off Kuzuki as he attacked Tosaka back then, so I thought I'll be able to fend him off again if I had Archer's twin swords. But, in other words, it means that I won't be able to do anything without them. Kuzuki knows that. What he did first in this battle was try to take the swords away from me. The sword in my right hand is destroyed. The fist, strengthened with Caster's magic, shatters my sword with a few blows. But we're gonna try and summon more swords? I immediately reproduce the short sword. I can't hope for high results with a forced projection, a quickly prepared sword. As a result, the twin swords start to lose their precision. I can't breathe right. I frantically block Kuzuki's fist with the short swords. I just follow the twin swords and, copying Archer, Emiyashiro's limbs have far exceeded the limits of his body. Well, one magic circuit line thing is now depleted. And there's this headache. Something is scraped away inside of me every time I project something. It's not the sensation of using up magical energy. It feels like my precious magic circuits are disappearing one by one every time I make a sword. I'm almost all out. I might be able to make 2 more. I'll die when my magical energy runs out. But first of all, can I stay alive until my magical energy runs out? I'm flung away. Kuzuki's right fist, the fist he hadn't been using, was suddenly thrust like a lance. Well, coincidentally, there's a lancer right outside. I shielded my chest with my blades. In that instant, my swords were destroyed, and the impact flung me away. I feel something hard on my back. Probably the wall. I must have been pushed back about 5 meters. I tried to draw my breath and realized that I can't. The penetrating impact has numbed my heart. I can't breathe and I can't move. It's only for a few seconds. In a few moments it takes my heart to resume its work. The devil approaches. This is it. This man could kill me if I drop my guard for only a second. With me like this, he has time to do it 6 times over. I glare at the enemy. Even if my limbs won't move, there's something I can do. First of all, I'm not suited for melee combat. Emiyashiro's weapon has always been his magic. Then, it's not over yet. My role is to keep Kuzuki busy. I can't give up without fulfilling my role. What are you gonna do? The sound didn't come from right in front of me. The image of the sword disappears from my mind. Kuzuki, who was approaching to twist my neck, stops or twists off my neck. Something is happening behind Kuzuki. It happened to Caster, with the altar behind her. And what's happening, with Caster and Rin? What were they doing? Tosaka is also at a disadvantage. No, her burden is greater, as she fully understands the difference in their powers. Caster points her finger with a composed expression. The magic is Iroh, Plague Wind. Caster does not need to cast her magic, ironically. For a witch that lived in the Age of Gods, incantations are unnecessary to connect herself with the world. Caster is always surrounded by divine mysteries of ancient lore. For Caster, magic is something she commands. It's just like ordering her guard dog to attack. She nullifies it with her treasured jewel. She does not have the time to cast a spell, and she cannot match Caster with simple magic from the Magic Crest. Their skills as magi are as far apart as heaven and earth. To bridge that gap, she must use the power that she has spent a long time gathering. Crystallization of magical energy that she has stored since she was born as a magus. A bunch of jewels that cost a lot of money. For this battle, she is prepared to use all 9 jewels remaining from the original 10. Even though her magic is nullified by pure magical energy, Caster keeps her smile. Caster can continue using magic indefinitely, while the girl must oppose Caster using jewels as amplifiers. The difference between them is self-evident. No matter how many jewels she might have, it cannot be more than 10 or 20. There's no way Caster can be defeated by such a small arsenal. She nullifies the electric charge with the 7th jewel. She has 6 jewels left. With 6 more spells from Caster, her last resort will be exhausted. She does not react to the giggling voice and takes out another jewel to get ready for the next attack. As Caster says, the jewel will not break if she uses it to only protect herself. The jewel should be able to protect her about 3 times. I wonder why she's using the whole jewel, but she cannot do that. Caster magic covers the whole temple once it is cast. Oh, so that's why. To protect only herself, but doesn't protect Shiro. Kuzuki should be protected by Caster, but he's an exception. If she cannot nullify Caster's spell before it's completed, Emiya Shiro, who is keeping Kuzuki Soichiro busy, will burn and die. It's an AoE effect. Therefore, it is meaningless to protect just herself. She cannot allow him to die like that. And besides, the whole plan revolves around Shiro keeping Kuzuki busy. Caster moves her finger. She makes the first move this time. Her jewels will run out and she'll be killed if she keeps defending. Caster's magic and her jewels. The magical energy contained in them is the same, so it means she can beat Caster if she makes the first move. But there's no way to exceed Caster's spellcasting. If Tosaka's Rin is fastest because she can perform magic directly by releasing the jewels, Caster is also the fastest as she is capable of creating divine mysteries with one word. There's no first move in their battle. This is merely a clash of power against power. The first one to run out of magical energy will die. Then... she just needs to force her way through. She unleashes a barrage of jewels to penetrate Caster's magical energy. Pew pew pew! Jewels 5, 3, and 4 release in succession. Moreover, she uses the treasured 4th jewel to add a synergistic How do you say that? Synergistic effect? Is that how you say it? Synergistic? Synergy? Synergistic effect. Anyway, this magic is beyond her limits. You can't use magic surpassing your own level. The one who said so is breaking the rule to execute this attack. The attack will destroy not only the temple, but the whole church if Caster does not defend against it. The witch in purple blocks it like nothing. No, she did not just nullify it. Caster has swallowed all of her magic energy inside her robe. Tosuka stands there in an astonishment. Behind her, she can hear the sound of his defeat. Sounds of breaking swords and his body slamming against the wall. The match is about to be settled. She has nothing she can do and her body sways. She staggers forward as if overwhelmed by despair.
これで終わり？まだ手持ちの宝石はあるのでしょ？諦めずになくなるまで試してみたら？
She has no spirit to answer her. No matter how many jewels she may have, that was her greatest attack. If even that attack is useless, then she cannot hurt Caster even if she has 100 jewels.
そう。ようやく理解したようね。何をしようが私にはかなわないと。けれど楽しくはあったわ、お嬢さん。魔術を競い合うのは久しぶりでしたからね。ええ。それだけでもあなたに価値を与えましょう。
She stops herself from falling, holds in her nausea with her hand, and glares at Caster.
悔しい？けれどこれが現実よ。むしろ誇りなさい。遊んであげたとはいえ、あなたはこの私に魔術戦をさせたのだから。
Then Caster points at her, as if to pronounce her death sentence.
言えなさい。あの坊やが私のマスターに倒されるのは時間の問題。その前に、こちらもそろそろ終わりにしましょう。
Caster slowly whispers her death. That opening. She has been waiting for this. Nani? She only needs to say one phrase to release it. She hangs her head and smiles as she murmurs. To release it? What is she doing? What is Rin doing? I doubt my own eyes for a second. Tosuka and Caster. The battle of magic has ended with Tosuka's defeat. Tosuka slowly staggered forward, as if asking for Caster's forgiveness, and Caster released her magic to finish her off. At that instant, Tosuka nullified the magic. That's fine. That's not surprising. The surprise came after that. Tosuka charged in and attacked Caster. Tosuka throws herself into hellfire. Nullifying the magic and using it as cover, she attacks Caster. Caster's surprise is that of a magus. She could not have predicted that a magus defeated a magic would attack with bare hands. I didn't expect it either, so it must be like heresy for Caster, who's an excellent magus. I think Rin just came in and just punched her in the face. It's not just some desperate move. Tosuka closes in and hits Caster in the chest with a move from Chinese martial arts. Another martial art. A shattering sound. Tosuka's fist must be strengthened like Kuzuki's, as her attack easily penetrates Caster's defense. Because everyone knows martial arts these days. I'm fascinated by her combination. Tosuka drops after the first attack. Putting her hands on the floor, she sinks below Caster's knees. To Caster, who lacks any experience in hand-to-hand combat, it must look like Tosuka disappeared. She executes a strong sweep. She lashes out her foot with all her might, as if to smash Castor's legs. I guess this was Tosaka's surprise attack. Yeah! Her feet swept from beneath her, Castor lands on her back. But it doesn't end. After the sweep, Tosa gets up with her back turned to Castor and uses the turning momentum to attack with her elbow and... Stopping her turning, Tosaka punches with all her weight. Castor's body is knocked away. Taking the punch directly, Castor is smashed into the wall like me. Wow, she's taking quite a beating. With her back to the wall, Castor moans dizzily. They are separated. Tosaka kicks the ground to cover the few meters in between them. The match is settled. Castor cannot move, and her wound seems fatal. The battle only lasted a moment. The match is decided within 5 seconds after I was smashed into the wall by Kuzuki. Castor doesn't have the energy to fight back. Tosaka runs the castle with saber-like speed and executes her finishing blow. Strengthening of a few seconds using magic. Tosaka intended to fight Castor like this from the start. Castor only saw a magus in Tosaka. She challenged Castor in magic so that she could achieve her one-time surprise attack. Now similar, actually very similar to what Kuzuki did, you know? Kind of surprising that he knew, you know, martial arts and whatnot. He was able to attack as a master. Tosaka's using that same surprise. And the plan worked. Castor has been deceived and has lost completely. Tosaka has won the battle. Yes. Or not. If not for this man's monstrous ability. If Tosaka ran to Castor like a hurricane, he ran like the devil's wind. Tosaka stops. Kuzuki Soichiro, the one who was in front of me until now, is standing in front of Castor. What are you doing, Shiro? You're supposed to stop him. Tosaka moves. The instant Tosaka feels death, jumps back and shields herself. Kuzuki's attack that blew me away strikes Tosaka in the face. Ow. She guarded her face with both her arms and jumped back, but she's still sent flying. Tosaka smashes into the wall opposite me, her arms dangling as if broken. Now he's criticizing Rin. You know, ironically, he also made that mistake, you know? Mr. Kuzuki, you also didn't finish off Saber, right? That was your mistake. He speaks plainly at that fight, you know? But that's not Tosaka's fault. The reason she lost her chance is because of me. If I had kept Kuzuki busy, Tosaka would have beaten Castor. This is my fault. My weak fighting skills were unable to stand up to Kuzuki's ability, and our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was lost. Castor regains consciousness. Protected by Kuzuki, Castor looks around the temple. This is it. The surprise attack won't work on Castor anymore. Tosaka is tired, and I can only project 2 more swords. If Castor uses her in this situation, we will never make it out of here alive.
感謝しますわ、マスター。あなたがいなければ、あのまま倒されていました。
世辞はいい。今はセーバーを起こせ。甘く見ていい相手ではなさそうだ。
ええ、的確な判断ですわ、マスター。
Castor points to the woman on the altar. The vision binding of the curse, or the visible binding of the curse. And when Castor tries to release it,
ああ。それがあと数秒ほど早ければな。
Nani? Above me, I hear a soft voice from the stairs leading up. It is Castor that notices the strange event first. Kuzuki doesn't notice. is because Kuzuki cannot detect the magical energy. Caster moves. Above her master, above Kuzuki Suichiro's head, are floating numerous swords. She must have figured out that her injuries will prevent her from blocking them with magic. Caster uses her body to protect her master. The murmuring voice from above says those words. Now as Archer, I guess. Numerous swords, though? Isn't that something that Gilgamesh does? The sounds end. The swords appearing in midair come down one target and pierce one body. Numerous blades rip and tear the meat, then disappear like an illusion. What's left are traces of blood. And they were aimed at Kuzuki, right? It. Having become his shield of her own free will, she now turns her bloody body to the man behind her. Well. Yeah, ironically, that reminds me of the Fate route a lot. How Shiro, because normally why would she be protecting her master? Makes no sense, right? If her master dies, then she dies as well, I guess. But if that's the case, there's no point in her protecting her master. Which reminds me of the Fate route, where Shiro was always trying to protect Saber, even though there's no point in him protecting her in the first place. The reason why, though, well, Kuzuki is silent. In front of him is the skewered servant. Ironically, she was also skewered in the last route. Maybe it's her destiny to always be skewered with a bunch of swords. Maybe there's no need to hide it now. The robe is removed from her head, and the woman walks over to her master with a bare face. Turns out she's a cute waifu, but oh no, she's dying. Her body is collapsing. With a dying body, the woman looks up at her master, who has not twitched a brow. Her slender fingers run across the expressionless face. Her voice seems clear. There's no change in Kuzuki. He only answers with a simple yes and does not even look at Caster. She looks as if it is fine. No, the woman smiles knowing what kind of man he is. The fingers running along his cheek fall down. Beginning at her toes, Caster's body is disappearing. She smiles at the simple answer. She smiles as if seeing a short-lived dream. The witch collapses as if going to sleep. The purple robe falls. The robe without its wearer fades and disappears as if following her. Kuzuki does not even look at her. His attention is focused on the man above. The knight in red who should be above me is betrayed yet again. It's like the double betrayal. It's like a, what do you call it? He was like a double spy, or is that what you call it? Double spy? That's not right. I don't know. I got a headache. It's not just because I've abused projection. The muttered spell. The spell he said is smashing my brain with nausea. Trace on. Yeah, that's what Shiro usually says. I didn't catch that, actually. That's what Shiro usually says. Archer says it? Weird. That's what he said. He said the exact words of the spell that shouldn't be used by anyone else but me. Yeah, it's my catchphrase. Archer comes down the stairs and stands in the temple. Oh, it's a double agent, right? That's the word, double agent. You know, like he was only pretending to betray them by betraying them, but then he betrayed the betrayers, or well, he betrayed Castor, I guess. Tosuka is watching him with surprise.
あーちゃ、もしかしたらって思ってたけど、そういうこと？
Archer does not answer. He's only watching his enemy, Kuzuki.
獅子心中の虫か。初めからこれを狙っていたな、アーチャー。
ああ。だが、どちらかといえば、トロイの木馬だろう。
Yeah, I'm wondering, okay, so maybe he wasn't that much of an asshole after all. He was just pretending. He was just pretending to betray us to actually get close to Castor and kill the master. And I was wondering, well then why didn't he just kill that Castor in the first place? I don't know. Well, because I'm wondering, well, maybe it's because he wanted to attack the master, not the caster, I guess. It's because, maybe he wasn't lying when he said that he couldn't finish off Castor, right, at the time. He just wanted to, the best chance to get rid of Castor would be to attack the master, right? That's what he's trying to do. He couldn't do it in a straight-on fight. He needed to infiltrate their alliance, and then, while they were distracted, he would come in and kill like Kuzuki, right? I was wondering, in that other bad end, was he still planning on doing that, I wonder? Right? Would the plan still work? Because I know Shiro died, right? Well, because we didn't enlist Lancer's help. Instead, we went on by ourselves. I remember, Shiro, he got slashed in one hit and he died, and Archer was like, whatever. And then he probably, walked away. I was wondering, was he gonna, also, again, follow through with his plan? The Trojan horse, as he said. Trojan horse. And kill Kuzuki in that case. And I was wondering, in that bad end, even though Shiro died, maybe Rin still survived. Maybe she distracted them long enough that Archer could come in and kill Kuzuki, and they went on to win the Holy Grail. Holy Grail War. It's just that Shiro died, right? I don't know.
倒すべきがギリシャの英傑であったのだからな。例え話としては、そちらの方がふさわしい。
Archer shows no guilt even though he has betrayed Castor in front of us.
そうか。お前のような男を引き込んだキャスターの落ち度だったな。
Kuzuki does not change his tone even in front of a betrayer. He still has the will to fight. He's not a magus, and he has lost Castor. He has the will to continue fighting. Yeah, he can't really do anything right now. He's just like a normal person. He readies himself. As Castor is gone, Kuzuki's strength must have dropped substantially. And I guess this is a little meta, but I remember watching the anime of this, and let me say that after this scene, actually, because anyway, I don't want to spoil too much. The snake is still there, but Castor's strengthening that made his fist into steel is gone. But still, Kuzuki faces Archer like before. I mean, it's kind of obvious what's going to happen, but let's see first. Archer readies his twin swords. Their duel has begun. Is that alright? Kuzuki said he had no interest in the Holy Grail. The master in name only, he merely went along with Castor. There's no reason for him to fight now that Castor's gone.
どうして続けるんだ、クズキ。あんたはキャスターの言いなりになってただけだろう。キャスターはもういないんだから、戦う理由はないはずだ。
I glare at them, gritting my teeth against the pain. Kuzuki narrows his eyes a bit.
そうだ。戦う理由などない。お前と同じく、私は聖杯などに興味はなかったからな。
なら。
だが、これは私が始めたことだ。それを途中でやめることなどでき。
And that's it. That's all the reason he has. The battle starts. The battle should end in one blow. Even if Kuzuki has superhuman fighting abilities, he's fighting a servant. He can't be a match just by being superhuman. Even though this is called a battle, it is actually just disposal of the loser. The fate of the loser. It is the battle between masters to kill and be killed, and that is the end they have to be ready for. One shouldn't fight at all if he can't accept that. But still. What's wrong? Okay, we have a decision, I guess. What's wrong with stopping them if I can? Or what good is stopping them? I can let them fight, or I can try to stop them, maybe? I mean, Kuzuki's kinda innocent, sort of. I mean, in the other bad ends, he's murdered us a few times. Or at least, I guess one time where he decapitated Rin, but otherwise, you know, I guess he's been compliant. Or rather, I don't know what the word is, but like, he's like a partner in crime, I guess, by letting Castor do as she wishes, you know. Though, to be fair, Castor's been doing a lot of things under his nose, behind his back, that he didn't know. But actually, you know, I would argue he might be innocent of most of the evil things that's been going on, right? But I don't know. Generally, I think he's innocent. So, if I can save him, is it wrong to want to prevent his death if I can? I don't care if I'm called soft-hearted. I know it's just hypocrisy. To defeat another master means killing them. We fought, prepared to kill each other. I know how unfair it is to stop them now. But still, I mean, the battle's over, right? Like, he's not a master anymore. I decided to fight so that I could save people. I can't ignore a life that can be saved. I suppress my headache and try to stop them. At that instant, Kuzuki moves. Well, I mean, that's kind of a half-hearted effort, don't you think, Shiro? Kuzuki must have taken my voice as a signal, as he rushes Archer in a flash and lashes out at his temple. Any ordinary man would have had his skull crushed, but Archer does not dodge it. His head moves from the impact. The knight in red takes Kuzuki's blow and pierces Kuzuki Soichiro's chest at the same time. I mean, yeah, it didn't do much. There's only silence. Or rather, well, the Kuzuki's attack didn't do much to Archer. Nobody says anything. I have nothing to say in any case. Kuzuki Soichiro died. Yeah, so the result is obvious. It's because, what I wanted to say before, well, they were mentioning about Castor's strengthening magic and whatnot, that wasn't really clear in the anime when I watched it, so I was a little bit confused, actually. When, at this part, it was like, Kuzuki actually just died very easily, but in the beginning, we saw him, like, be very powerful, right? He was, like, very powerful, he, like, caught Saber, like another serpent, in surprise, you know? And, he fought, like, Shiro pretty, like, single-handedly. You know, even though Shiro's not that strong, he was obviously very dominant with his like martial arts and stuff. And I thought, you know, that he was like he had his own like magical energy and he had like his own like powers. But actually, as we learn in the visual novel, and maybe they mentioned it in the anime, but it wasn't that clear, I guess, for me anyway. That actually Kuzuki, the most of the magic came from Castor. Right? So once Castor is gone, Kuzuki can't do much himself, you know? He can try to like hit Archer, but as we saw here, even if like it was a direct strike against his head, it can't really do much because he's just a normal human being. So there you go. That's why he was so easily defeated. Something I wanted to clear up, I guess, when I watched the anime, so that's why I want to also read the visual novel. Anyway, he was silent until the very end, and he died on the path he chose without showing regret or hope. Nope. I have a headache. Is my magic circuit compressing my nerves? Or can I not forgive Archer for killing Kuzuki? Or am I pissed at myself for not having the right to say anything to him? Can't tell, and my headache only gets worse. I turn around at the sound. With Castor's disappearance, the bonds must have broken. Oh, yeah, we saved Saber, right? Saber is on the floor in front of the altar. Saber painfully breathes on the floor. That makes me forget about my headache. I run to her. Even this short distance is an annoyance. She's in her weird dress that Castor gave her for some reason. She raises her head. Saber sighs in relief as she sees me run to her and... Huh? Ow! She tackles me with her shoulders and pushes me away. She pushes me forcefully to the side. My body flies for a few meters and lands on the ground. She football tackles me. I land on my back. I shake my confused head and look up. At that instant, I hear steel hitting steel. Oh, she's back in her good old armor. Saber's there, fully armored, and numerous swords lie on the floor, right where I was standing before Saber tackled me. Archer, you gonna stop trying to kill me? He says in a bored voice, facing Saber. Saber, who can barely keep her body standing, glares at Archer. I don't even need to ask why she's glaring at him. He shot those swords from behind to kill me. Saber saw that and instantly pushed me away. Tosuka watches him in astonishment, and Saber readies her sword while breathing heavily. The situations are different, but they both have wonder in their eyes. Why is Archer trying to kill Amishiro when Castor's dead already? Didn't he say, drown in your ideals and die? I think he's wanting to kill me since that. You know? I remember Rin gave him a command spell to, like, not kill us. But since he's betrayed... Rin, I guess, like, pseudo-betrayed? You know? Not really betraying, but actually, I don't know, he's triple betraying us right now. He's a triple agent. He's just trying to murder everyone, or at least Shiro in particular, I don't know. Yeah, because normally he would have the command spell to stop him from killing Shiro, but now he doesn't because he got the rule breaker on him. It's like, broke the command spell. And then he was under Castor's, like, you know, Castor's, control, but now he isn't. He killed Castor. And now, right now, I guess he's back to trying to kill Shiro. The only calm ones are Archer and I. It's not that surprising. We hated each other from the start. I guess we just really want to murder each other. We oppose each other, unable to get along. I don't know why, but I just cannot approve of him. The reason behind it. If that is really the reason for us not being able to approve of each other, it is natural for him to want to kill me. I get up. Saber must have been desperate. She tackled me without holding back, so I can't breathe properly. That just makes me more determined. This is all she could manage when she tackled me with all her might. She doesn't have enough power left in her to even fight me. It's suicidal for her to confront Archer in such a state. Yeah, Saber doesn't have a master right now. It was like Castor, I guess, technically, but now Castor's dead. So, and, well, most servants can't survive without a master. Archer's fine because he has independent action, right? Just like Gilgamesh. Tosuka draws near Archer. It's natural. Archer switched to Castor's side to attack her by surprise. Now that it succeeded, there's no reason for him to attack me.
芝居はもう終わりでしょ。キャスターは倒したんだから、もう勝手な真似は許さないわよ。
許さない？わからないな。なぜ私が許されなければならないのだ。私のマスターでもないお前に。は
ちゃ
お前との契約は切れている。自由になった私が自ら進んで人間の手下になると思うのか。
Yeah, we kind of like Rin, I guess, thought that he was like on our side this whole time. I guess that was technically true, but still, he's like murdering. I don't know. Archer's. I don't know. He has like vague motivations. What is he doing exactly? He's just betraying everyone, trying to murder everyone at this point. He's a murder hobo. After staring up at the night in astonishment, Tosaka gasped in sudden realization.
まさかアーチャー。
私は私の目的のためだけに行動する。だがそこにお前がいてはいささか面倒だ。
Tosaka jumps back. She gets away from Archer, tries to run towards me, who is still on my knees, and her movement is stopped cold. A swarm of swords about 2 meters high. They pierce the ground, drawing a circle, and become a circular prison. It is a circle big enough for one person to fit in, and Tosaka is trapped inside. You know,
ここまで来て邪魔はさせん。契約が切れた今、お前にかけられた0時の縛りも存在しない。
interesting that Archer just doesn't straight up kill Tosaka. You know? Again, we don't know exactly why at this point. He just wants to kill Shiro.
キャスターについた理由はそれだけだ。あの0時を無効にするためには、契約を破棄せねばならなかったからな。
I mean, yeah, that's what I mentioned before. You know, maybe that's really the only reason. The only reason he went with Caster is the fact of that. It's because of that. Getting rid of that command spell. Really the only reason. Turning his back to the imprisoned Tosaka, Archer starts to walk. At least that's what he says. Not towards Saber, but towards me, still on my knees.
やっぱりなんでよアーチャー。あんたまだシロを殺すつもりなの？
Just doesn't really like Shiro.
そう。自らの手でエミやシロを殺す。
Archer just really hates the fact that Emiya Shiro is the protagonist in his visual novel.
それだけが守護者となり果てた俺の。
何？
Power returns to Saber's body. She musters her strength and moves between Archer and me.
アーチャー、あなたはまさか。
そうだ。いつか言っていたな、セイバー。俺には英雄としての誇りがないのかと。無論だ。そんなものがあるはずがない。この身を埋めているのは後悔だけだよ。
And only regret fills my mind. Didn't he say that he didn't have any regrets, you know, when he died? I think he said that. The fact that he actually died satisfied, technically? But why does he have regret now?
俺はね、セイバー。英雄になどならなければよかったんだ。
The aggression fades from Saber. What does she figure out? Her enmity towards Archer is gone.
そういうことだ。聞いているがいい、騎士を。マスターがいない身で無茶をすれば、すぐに消えるぞ。
King of Knights. That's interesting. So Archer knows who Saber is. But wait, do we... I mean, obviously we know in the Fate route who Saber truly is, but we don't know her true name as of this moment. Right? So... apparently, again, I think it was mentioned before, but Archer apparently knows who Saber really is.
もはやエミやシロにはマスターの資格がない。肩入れしたところで君の望みには届かない。
それはできない。マスターで亡くなったとしても契約は消えない。彼を守り、剣になると誓った。
Yep, Saber is very honorable. I mean, she's a good person, right? She doesn't go back on her word.
聖杯戦争など知らなかった彼は、それでも私の一方的な誓いに応えてくれた。 その信頼を裏切ることなどできない。
She readies her invisible sword, but I don't see the usual valor and strength in her stance.
そうか。ならば、偽りの主ともども、ここで消えろ。
Okay, so I guess anyone in his way, he's gonna try to murder. I mean, I guess for Rin's, I was wondering like, why don't you just murder Rin too as well? I guess it's because Rin is like, you know, she can't do much right now. Actually, she's just like, she used all her magics technically, all her like jewels and stuff, so she's pretty harmless, I guess, comparatively. So in that sense, he doesn't want to just kill Rin. But Saber, you know, it's a bit of a threat. Even though she's weakened, she's still a servant, so she can't easily be trapped like Rin. I guess that's why Archer is determined to kill Saber as well. She's in the way. Twin swords appear in Archer's hands. You know what's weird? I thought he used up all his magical energy when he fought Lancer. That's what he said anyway. Right? It was also mentioned that he had a bunch of wounds on him, so he should be weakened. Or maybe this is his weakened state, and even when he's using, I don't know, like only 10% of his power, he's still pretty strong, I guess. Oh, but, well, then again, you know, everybody's weakened at this moment, right? Rin, Shiro got injured, Saber's not at her full power, so I guess relatively speaking, Archer's still the strongest, even though he's used up a bunch of magical energy himself. Saber can't even take those swords right now. Nigero! I get up and reach for Saber. Did she do it to get away from my reach? Saber pulls herself together, kicks the ground, and charges at Archer. The battle ends after a few blows. Saber, the one who overwhelmed Archer before, falls to her knees, unable to stand for even a few seconds. The sword isn't even in Saber's hands now. After resisting Caster's command spell for so long, she has no magical energy left. Unable to breathe, she puts her hands on the floor, desperately trying to hold her disappearing body together. Oh no. Archer raises his swords. The twin swords are swung down onto Saber, and... No, Shiro's charging into the fray. I jump in from the side and stop them using all my might. I ready my twin swords. I hold the instantly projected weapons and glare at the knight in red.
Oh. あとしばらくはおとなしくしていると思ったがな。さすがに目の前で女が殺されるのは耐えられないか。
うるさい。お前が殺したがってるのは俺だろう。なら相手を間違えるな。
I confront him. We both have twin swords in our hands. Our physiques are different, but our stances are the same in every regard.
人間もそこまで行けば本物だ。だが、お前の体はその魔術講師に耐えられるかな。
But his smugness can never be mirrored. He's too smug for us. A sneering voice. My limit is near, as he says. He's just too smug. My headache does not stop, and my magic circuit has its limiter full from all the projection magic. My brain will explode before I get slashed if I fight him while retaining the image of the twin swords.
前に忠告したな。お前に投影は扱えないと。分不相応の魔術は身を滅ぼす。お前をここまで生かしてきた奇跡の代償。ここで支払うことになったな。エミヤシロ。
Archer charges in.
黙りやがれ、てめえ。
To that, I frantically move my swords as if I'm slashing my headache away. I swing my arms from side to side. No, sorry. I swing my arms. My techniques are all a copy of my enemies. My weapon is copied, and my technique is copied. Therefore, I cannot match him. I cannot match him even if I were in top condition. An imitation can get close to the original, but never surpass it. I could not match this man from the start. The man told me to drown in my ideals and die. The man said that my life is a false life. I could not object to those words because he was my ideal. A power to make the impossible possible. An existence that saved many people and became a heroic spirit. It was I who wanted to become such a person. He's always wanted to become like a superhero, right? That's Shiro's dream, and I guess an extension, becoming something like a heroic spirit would be perfect for him, I guess. That's why I can't match him. The man in front of me is the end of that road. He's my ideal, becoming strong to save people, so... My swords shatter. I was able to block his attacks, but my twin swords disappear. I can't stay conscious. My body isn't hurt, but my insides are bleeding and are about to give out.
納得がいったか。それがエミやシローの限界だ。無理を積み重ねてきたお前にはふさわしい幕切れだろう。
He raises his sword. As I try to figure out with my dazed mind if the sword will come down from the right or the left. Nani?
汝の身は我が元に、我が命運は汝の剣に。聖杯の揺れに従い、この断りに従うのなら。
Tosaka's gallant voice echoes through the temple. That must have caught his attention. The sword slows down a bit, and if that's the case, I can dodge it even with a body like this. I roll on the floor and get away. Archer clenches his teeth but looks at Saber instead of pursuing me. Tosaka reaches out towards Saber from within the prison of swords. Saber runs her using her last power and...
Saber の名にかけ誓いを受ける。あなたを我が主として認めよう。リン。
A contract that should have originally been made. Saber finally obtains a master that is appropriate for her. Yeah, I've been saying from the very beginning that, yeah, Rin having Saber, you know, as a servant would make more sense because she's able to actually give enough magical energy to her, and they would actually be a very unstoppable team, actually. And I guess that's what Rin originally wanted as a servant in the first place, right? She accidentally summoned Archer when she really wanted was Saber. There you go, Saber at her full power. Violent wind rages. She must have gotten back her true powers by obtaining a true master. Saber is unlike anything she was before. She has achieved Ultra Instinct. Like literally, she literally has instinct as her ability, so it makes sense. I'm not the only one that gasped. Even Archer is fascinated. Rising swirls of magical energy and armor that can never be damaged. There seems to be no end to this overwhelming power. This is Saber. The heroic spirit of the sword, said to be the strongest servant. Oh, well, okay. Again, I'm still so confused with Archer's intentions, but he say that he was gonna let her make a contract with Rin, but I don't know. I guess it's what he wanted technically, but I guess it happened too soon for him. I guess he wanted to kill Shiro first and then let them do what they want. I don't know. It seems to me like Archer, I mean, I guess he cares about Rin, right? He isn't straight up killing her right now, so I'm assuming that's why, right? But he wanted to murder Shiro first, for some reason. Well, Archer murmurs while looking at Saber. He must not have enough to spare to pay any. He must not have enough to spare to pay any attention to me now.
それでどうするセイバー。リンと契約した以上、 君は本当にエミやシロとは無関係になったわけだね。
Well, I mean, she's still gonna protect Shiro. He makes good food, so.
言ったはずです、アーチャー。素人の誓いはなくならないと。
My stomach is endless. So Saber will protect Shiro. Saber is firm. Archer clucks his tongue and grips his twin swords again.
あなたこそどうするのです、アーチャー。あなたが白を手にかけるというのなら、私は全力でそれを阻む。考え直すのなら今のうちです。今の私を相手にして勝機があるとは思わないでしょう。
Saber's warning is true. Saber would not lose even to the Berserker now. Yeah. I guess at the time in the Fate route, we always had trouble with Berserker at the time because, Shiro's magic circuits weren't powerful enough to, to handle Saber. So she was always weak, but right now, she's at her full strength. No matter who he may be, Archer cannot match Saber. You should know that more than anyone, but...
たかだか魔力が戻った程度で、よくもそこまで強気になる。
Archer charges. Their weapons clash. Archer charges in at Saber like a red bullet and attacks her with all his might. Saber receives the blow like nothing. Neither the size difference nor Archer's momentum matter. Saber repels Archer's swords without flinching. Archer, the one who attacked, is the one who retreats. The attack made with all his strength, a blow that should not have been need to be repeated is... Not only is it blocked, but his body loses balance as well. Archer steps back. There. Saber's sword attacks him like a surging waves of raging fire. Archer can only defend against her attacks. Saber's sword will kill him if he tries to counter. Now, first of all, he does not have anything to spare for a counterattack. The only resistance Archer is allowed is to block Saber's attack until he runs out of energy. And that should not take long. The magical energy in Saber's sword scrapes away Konsho and Bakya with each attack. The twin swords cannot take anymore, and Archer's arm should be powerless by now. The match is settled rather quickly. Now the tables have turned. Archer falls to one knee, unable to stand against Saber's assault. Saber swings down her sword as if to finish him off. Archer blocks it by crossing his twin swords in front of him. The battle is at an end. Even though he blocks Saber's blow, Archer cannot move. Saber's sword will split his head in two if he loosens the power on the twin swords. Archer puts power into his arms to stop Saber's blow. Sweat forms on his forehead, and he's breathing hard. In contrast, Saber's breathing is normal. It is impossible for Archer to beat Saber in hand-to-hand combat.
ここまでです、アーチャー。先ほど私の身を案じていましたが、それはあなたにも言えることだ。キャスターを倒すためにあれだけの宝具を使った今、魔力は残り少ないはずです。加えて、この世に留まるためのマスターもいない。魔力の供給もままならない今のあなたに何ができる？
それこそ余計な世話だ、セイバー。アーチャーのサーバントにはマスターがおらずとも単独で存在する能力がある。マスターを失ったとしても2日は存命できよう。それ
Yeah.
あの小僧を仕留めるには十分だ。
What I mentioned before, independent action.
バカ。まだそんなことを言うのですか？あなたの望みは聖杯ではなく、白を殺すことだとでも。
Yeah, funnily enough, in the Fate route, we actually learn about Archer's wish, well, quote-unquote wish. His wish was like world peace, even though he was like joking, So really, Archer didn't really have a wish, actually, for the Holy Grail. But now he wants to kill Shiro for some reason. In this route. He just really hates that kid. Archer doesn't answer. His cold eyes stare at the troubled Saber.
なんということ。アーチャー、 あなたの望みは間違っている。なぜそのような結末を望むのですか。そんなことをしてもあなたは
will not be saved. Saber bites her lips and stops herself from saying so. Again, reminds me of, Saber's route. In that sense.
間違えているか。
Yeah, ironically, her initial wish, right? The idea of choosing another ruler for the king of England or whatever, doesn't save her, you know? That was the words I think were echoed in the Fate route. The muscles on Archer's arms bulge. He looks at Saber once.
それはこちらのセリフだ、セイバー。君こそいつまで間違った望みを抱いている。
And Archer, I guess, knows about that wish as well. Saber's wish. He says so with eyes staring far away.
アーチャー
Saber's sword loosens up. Oh no. Using that opening, Archer gets up and kicks Saber with his freed leg. Even though she's knocked back, Saber lands gracefully. The situation hasn't changed at all. Saber's protecting me and facing Archer, who has Tosca trapped within a cage of swords behind him. The distance between them is 5 meters again.
分かりきっていたことだが、やはり剣技では及ばぬか。
The twin swords disappear, and he confronts Saber unarmed.
アーチャー剣を捨てたということは戦いを収める気に。
まさか。君こそ思い違いはよせ。俺はアーチャーだぞ。もとより、剣で戦うものではない。
Yeah, that's what we've been saying a whole lot. You know, many of these battles were all like everybody's always been surprised when Archer uses his swords, even though he's an archer. So I guess he's used like a bow sometimes. And we've seen in this in this situation, he's like summoned swords to like aim at people as well, similar to Gilgamesh, I guess. With those words,
I'm the bone of my soul.
no. He begins this spell in a voice I can't hear.
やめろアーチャー私はあなたとは。
セイバー、いつかお前を解き放つ者が現れる。それは今回ではないようだが、おそらくは次もお前と関わるのは私なのだろうよ。Unknown to death, unknown to life.
It's the chant. His spell echoes through the temple. There's no change. A long spell like that should affect the surroundings. Magic influences the world, but his spell does not affect the world, but instead.
だが、それはあくまで次の話。今の俺の目的は、エミやシロを殺すことだけだ。それを阻むのならば、この世界は、お前が相手でも容赦はせん。
He raises his left arm. Does that complete his spell?
Unlimited Blade Works.
Well, there you go. That's the title of the route. Unlimited Blade Works. He clearly speaks out and changes the world. It's a bunch of fire. You know, actually, now that I think about it, I remember there was a fire in one of the bad ends, actually. Now that I think about it, you know, again, I'm like going back a little. Remember when we tried to go by ourselves as just Shiro and Ren without Lancer? You know, I remember, you know, actually Archer achieved his ends. He actually just murdered Shiro, right? And Shiro could hear fire at the church. At first, I was thinking maybe it's from the spells of Castor, and she, you know, murdered Rin or whatever. But actually, now that I see this now, after, you know, Archer, I guess, used his spell, there's a bunch of fire now. Maybe he did like go back and actually fight against Castor and Kuzuki, and maybe he actually won by using this specific spell. Maybe. So maybe in that other world, he did achieve his objective and also helped out Rin. You know? He just really wants to murder us. Anyway.